I wasn't a master in my craft. I don't think I would ever call myself that. I don't think that would be ever fair to call myself. There's people much better at than I was. But I was always, and you can ask anybody who was in those rooms, I was always willing to deliver an answer that was maybe hard to swallow, but was still factual. And people like that value that because they rarely see it. Everybody's worried about their job at some capacity. They're like, oh, they're going to take me, they're going to send me down to the other property. Like, I'm going to get off this cool one. Yeah, maybe, okay, sure. But at the same time, like, if these are people who don't care about not necessarily you, but they want something out of you and they're paying you for it. Deliver that, show the value up front. He's willing to say the hard thing. He's willing to always make sure that he's on top of his budgetary spends, his allocations, and his drawdowns. If the CFO or the C-level board or the Fertittas brothers themselves were asking me anything, got to be willing to execute. And I think being in those rooms was a wake-up call for that. Because I had been on those kinds of projects in the Philippines, but there was and obviously in the opening of Chromo, but at the same time, Andres, but it was, I think, even more hyper-focused because we had even a shorter amount of time. But I think it's something to carry with me forever. You know, to this day, if somebody asks me like, hey, what's going on with this account? I can answer those questions. Where a lot of people will be like hemming and hawing and all these other things. It's like, you've still got to focus yourself, still got to hone that iron, get it sharp, be willing to execute when called upon, because that'll show professionalism. That'll show your ability to excel and rise to the occasion. And that's the only way you get invited back to those rooms.